You're gonna love this.
I want to hear it. I'm objective. You're critical.
Anico at the disco.
He's positive. Join the Mixtape 615.
Today, tomorrow, yesterday,
It is the dopest supporter group in all of Nashville.
forever.
What's up? What's up? Testing. 1, 2, 3. This is the Mixtape 615 podcast, and this is the place to be. Season is over. Roster decisions happening. We've got new schedule coming out. So many things. But first, let me introduce myself. My name is Austin, aka Wild Man, aka Ginger Snap. Don't cross this Ginger because he may snap. It's also Christmas season. Ginger snaps, you know, they're kind of in season. We've got the Fumbling Dublin, the Cheeky Parm, the Red Beards, the dopest pirate in all the 7 seas. You know who it is. Logan, tell him who you are.
All right, everybody. You know who it is. It's Logan. It's a.k.a. Beer Main, a.k.a. Manga Main, a.k.a. Merch Main, a.k.a. the Thunderbird with the Underberg, a.k.a. Logstradamus. That's not going to go away. And this is the Mixtape 615 supporter group podcast. So
I'm breaking
shocked.
things over
Your
here.
Computer is so shocked, Austin. But this is the Mixtape 615 podcast brought to you by the Mixtape 615 supporter group, the dopest supporter group in all of Nashville, in all of soccer, in all the world. And you know what it is. Jump in with us. Just go to mixtape615.com. That is mixtape615.com and jump in with us. Get in ready to go for the new 2026 season because that has now dropped. I'm excited. We definitely have some key games we want to talk about here in a second, but one of the biggest things we have to talk about, Austin, is these roster decisions that have been made so far. Again, This is so far. This does not mean everybody that is a part of our team. This does not mean that those who have not been opted for contracts yet or have not fully been signed back yet, there's probably still some negotiations going on. We don't know, but there are some big ones that have hit. Austin, hit me with your biggest one. What do you think is the biggest roster decision that has been made?
I think the most impactful, I'll just say that one right off the bat, is going to be Walker Zimmerman. That is the most impactful. He's a day one guy. First captain, first goal, or I guess Dax may have been first captain, but first goal scorer for Nashville. He has been the captain for many years. He has been that guy who we've noticed on and off the field is that leader. This year, I did notice a little bit of a shift, and I don't know if that is what was to come, that we've now seen the drop with his contract expiring, or if that was just a natural shift, if it was just coming organically and it just happened to be it during his contract season. But that's the most impactful. The biggest shock to me as far as like what Nashville did was I'll give you 2 of them, but Acosta and Gaston Brugman declining both of their options. I thought both of them, I know Acosta was injured for the first half of the season, but when he came in, I know he's older, he's a vet, but he provided stability. He provided somebody who knows he's smart with the ball. He's got high soccer IQ. Gaston Brugman, same thing. Very high soccer IQ. We actually ran through him so many times when it was, okay, we need a goal. Gaston is going to take the ball. He is going to be that point guard, for lack of a better term, and let Hani kind of fade, more towards the net, kind of hang out a little bit higher up the pitch. But those 2, I think, were pretty shocking to me.
I'll tell you this, Brian Acosta, it's not quite as shocking. Again, he is a vet. I think we signed him very similar to the way we signed Coleman last year. Love, Brent Coleman. He's great. But I think we signed him as a way to know, like, okay, we're going to have him for a year. We're going to give him a big tryout. Let's see how well he does in the defense side of things. And, let's see how well he does in the midfield for Brian Acosta. And I don't know, not a ton of show from him. I don't think he did enough to really cement his place here in Nashville with, you know, BJ Callahan creating a much younger squad than we have ever had. Creating a lot of the quickness, a lot more attack minded, and that's just not Brian Acosta, and that's okay. That's just not the style of soccer that he plays. It doesn't mean that he wasn't a good fit when he came in. It just means that overall, with the vision of what's going forward, I don't think he's the best fit for us. Now, with Gaston Brugman, I have a little bit of a hot take with this, and this is something I noticed kind of about halfway through the season. Noticed it really big towards the end of the season, but he was kind of what we've had in the past. He is a guy who every time he touched the ball, man, he was going to give it away. And I understand we tried to play through him a few times. We definitely did have some success, but there were so many times he just gave the ball away. Look at the actually the last uh Miami game, or the first Miami game of the playoffs. There were several times where he just handed the ball off. He literally tried to play it back, but was the softest touch, and it just left it in the open field and nobody around to get it but Miami players. And
Yeah, and if
it's
you want to bring up like just anything, those first and second and two season Miami matches, then you're going to find something wrong with everyone on the pitch.
but but it's not even just that. It's more than just the Miami game. I'm just pointing that as an example. But there are several times that happened. That happened against Philly. It happened against Cincy. It happened against Charlotte. It happened against Chicago. He gave the ball away, and I was just like, "What are you doing?" And so there are several times. Again, I noticed these things, and not every single time it was the case, but it happened more times than not, to where I said it out loud, even in the supporter section. I was like, every time Gaston touches it, it's going to give it away. And not 5 seconds later, he gets the ball. It's given to the defense, and or given to the opposing team. And so it's one of those. I think, again, I'm not mad at the way he's gone. I think that it's good to continue to try and move forward. He is also a vet player. He is also a little bit older. I think he had a lot of bright spots, but not enough to keep him, not enough to do what we needed him to do. I think two of the bigger roster decisions that we need to address also, Joe Willis being gone.
Yeah.
Again, a day one guy. Again, just one of the biggest impacts for our team. Our only ever
Yeah.
goalie chance.
I mean, he appeared in all but 7 regular season matches for Nashville his
Yeah,
entire tenure.
yeah, and that's saying a lot. That shows you how much impact that's going to have on our team moving forward. The only ever goalie chant we've ever had is the Joe says no. We have had to shift that because there are times he's not been in, so we chanted Panico. For Schwake, we really didn't have one. We kind of tried to start one or two. I'm sure that there will be one that comes
We'll
during the
get
off
there. We'll
season.
get there.
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be one that the back line creates during the off season that we're going to get. But it's Joe Willis, man. He's going to be sorely missed. I know Mixtape, we made a post. He is going to be very much missed. Um,
Yeah.
and then,
Well,
of
let me
course,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
you can't talk roster decisions this year without talking about Taylor Washington, another OG. And when we talk OG, that is an OG OG. Has been
Yeah,
around since
USO.
USL. Yeah, he is. He is just. That's going to be a big impact. I think that he will
Absolutely.
still be around in the Nashville area. He's still going to be. I think he even said he's trying to get tickets in the supporter section, which I think everybody and their mom would love to see him come in. I know he would probably join every single one of the supporter groups. Uh, Knowing him, he's probably going to do that. He'll probably be around on game days. Uh, Best of luck to him for his. I know he's moving into seminary. He's going to school for that. For good luck on his school journey. Good luck in life in general. Uh, I was not expecting it, but I am happy for him and the way that he was able to go out on his
Oh
own
yeah,
terms.
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I was literally up in my daughter's bedroom earlier today, and I saw Taylor Washington's warm-up kit that she had pulled out of her drawer that he gave her. So,
Yeah,
absolutely, especially in this family, we're going to miss him. He was, daughter's favorite player. He was so many people's favorite player. There's a reason why we have a chant that says he's one of our own,
absolutely.
because he is. He is absolutely one of our own. But let me recap real quick because we didn't do this at the top of this at this segment. But I'm going to recap for those of you who haven't seen the roster decisions. Nashville released those. A few days ago, Nashville SC exercised the contract option, so meaning they are keeping these players. You've got Dan Lovitz, Alex Moyle, Wubens Pacias, who friend of the pod has been
I'm
there,
excited to see
and
that.
Xavier Valdez. Um, Nashville SC declined contract options on Brian Acosta, Gaston Brugman, Maximus Eck, a player that we never saw. He was
Well,
injured
he
for a
played
little
in
while.
Huntsville for a little bit. He just,
Yeah.
I think, again, didn't do a lot to
Yep.
impress.
Julian Gaines, who we all thought that he was going to impress. BJ Callahan used him a little bit towards the end of the season last year. And then did he have one showing this year? I
So
don't
he
know if he
did
did.
in Open Cup, but the biggest thing that you have to realize is that we had Andy Nahar on the right, which is the position that Julian Gaines
Yeah.
plays.
And then
Who
we were
plays that right back?
using
Josh Bauer. And
Josh
Josh Bauer,
Bauer.
you want to talk about a guy who stepped up and stepped into a role, again, another friend of our podcast.
Yep.
But goodness, that man, 3 goals on the year. Um, Lights out in the way that he played, in my opinion, when he was playing aggressive like that. Was great on the defensive side. And then to have to switch from center to right and never having played right back before, that was huge. Not only was it his first time ever playing right back before, at the end of the season when we played against Miami in the postseason, he switched to left back for an injured Dan Lovitz and got the goal. It's amazing.
Um, we had Tate Schmidt decline contract option, Wyatt Mayer declined the contract option, and then Joe Willis, who we mentioned. Two players who are out of contract are Walker Zimmerman as well as the
Teal
Aqua
Bunbury.
Turtle, Teal Bunbury. So this tells me the fact that we exercise a contract option on Wubens Pacias and then Teal Bunbury is out of contract. We also declined contract option on Maximus Eck. This tells me that Wubens is going to be pivotal
Our next guy.
as our striker, as a sub striker. Given Sam Surge some breaks, I think Wubens is going to be the guy. I don't know if we're going to see as much Adam Sipich. I know that he is still on the roster, but if you look at on who is still on the roster as far as forwards, we've got Sam Surge, Tyler Boyd, Wubens Pacias, Adam Sipich.
Yep.
Midfield, we've got Patrick Yazbek, Hani Mukhtar, Jacob Schaffelberg, Matthew Corcoran, Alex Moyle, Togseth, Johnny Perez, Ahmed Kasim, and we don't need to forget Isaiah Jones. We do still
Yeah.
have on our
Homegrown.
roster as far as the midfield goes. Defenders, this I think is where we need to start looking as far as changes. And getting some more depth. We've got Dan Lovitz. He has no backup. I know that Josh Bauer has stepped up over there,
He's
but
also stepped up on the right for Andy.
yeah, exactly. We don't have somebody else who can step up. Like he has to go somewhere. So we've got
What
Dan Lovitz.
wasn't
We've got
Schmidt supposed to be
Palacios.
his?
Tate Schmidt was
Yeah.
supposed to be his
Okay.
because Taylor Washington got
That's
injured.
right.
So we signed Tate Schmidt whenever Taylor Washington got injured. But we've got Dan Lovitz. We've got Jason Palacios, who I think should have started over Walker, but
Did.
Unfortunately was injured
No, did
for the
start over
last no
Walker.
for the last Miami match.
Yeah.
We've got Jack Mayer. We'll see how he does. He was up and down this season. He had really, really bright moments, and then he had some moments that were questionable.
Yeah.
Josh Bauer, we just talked about him. Andy Nahar, we talked about him. Chris Applewhite, we didn't see much later in the season. He looked really good earlier. Open Cup, we saw him play against Chattanooga. He looked pretty decent, but we didn't see him much second half of the season. And then who is officially on, it happened later in the season, on Nashville SC's roster, not Huntsville, is Jordan Knight. So there are some options there, but I really think that is where we need to focus in the offseason, is really strengthening the back line and maybe getting another dynamic midfielder that we can run through.
I think the biggest things we need, I think we need one solid other option at forward, and I do believe it's going to be Wubens Pacias. But we need another option at forward alongside Sam. And this is not a knock towards Sam, but we saw a lot of people were saying that in the clutch moments, and especially in the latter, um, I guess the last few games of the year, at close range, he's skying balls and just could not get a goal. I think he easily could have won the MLS Golden Boot. Um, had he stayed on track. And again, we don't know the thoughts behind it. We don't know if he was battling injury, uh, but I think having a solid backup who has been performing well at striker is a good thing to get. I think another dynamic midfielder, just like you said, and then a backup for Dan Levitt. We have to find an option at left back. I think those are three really big things that we need moving forward.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, you talked about Sam towards the latter part of the season, skying some balls. We didn't finish the way that we wanted, but let's talk about the season real quick. We started off pretty strong. May was one of the best soccer moments outside of the 2020 Bayern Munich Champions League run, where they were the only undefeated Champions League winners, I think, in the history of the sport. However, the May run that Nashville SC had, I think, was one of the best teams, chemistry, whatever you want to call it, momentum, everything gelled together and came forward in that season.
It wasn't just May. It started April 29th.
The
Or
7-2
the
Chicago game.
yeah, and then moved well into July before we actually lost a game. We had a 15 game unbeaten streak. That
Yeah.
is insane.
So from MLS and Open Cup, right?
Yeah, through all competition. But even in the MLS, we had a 13 game home streak. And then we also had I think it was a 13 game, because the Open Cup we only played 2 games before we lost a game. Uh, as far as the season goes, we only played one. Yeah, we played one in May, and then we played one in July, and then we lost. So we had a 13 game unbeaten streak in the MLS, which is huge. I
Yeah,
mean,
absolutely. I mean, I think that this season, I mean, a lot of people are really upset with how we ended because, yeah, it was really hard to see us lose because, I mean, yes, we lost to Miami. Yes, we lost to Messi again, but we did beat Messi one time.
first time we've beaten
First time
Miami
we've
since they
beaten
came.
Miami since they got Messi.
Yeah.
We won a trophy this year.
We also beat the Red
One of
Bulls
our
for the first time this
players,
year.
yeah, we beat the Red Bulls for the first time. We had a player in the running within the top 3 or 4 of Golden
Ended at
Boot,
number 3.
ended at 3, and he won US Open Cup Golden Boot.
Correct.
So this season, with as disappointing as it was, yes, we didn't make it out of the first round. This was a win.
Absolutely.
Let's go back to our discussion about what are our expectations. We just said we hope we get back to the playoffs. I know that you pulled out your
I'm gonna
clairvoyance.
find it.
You pulled out your clairvoyance, your magic crystal ball, whatever, and you found all of the you said Sam Surge Golden Boot. He won U.S. Open Cup Golden Boot.
He
But
did win a Golden Boot.
you did say U.S. Open Cup, which that was really really good call there. But just the fact that we as a whole, we're just saying we hope we get back to the playoffs, because I think that's what one of yours too was, just get back to the playoffs.
Yep. In
And
fact,
so
9
the fact
months
that
ago, I can pull it up right here on the
yeah,
pod,
no, we got it.
right
We
here on the
got it.
pod, guys. 9 months ago, you see it. I called it. I promise you.
This guy. We all believe you. We gave you your dues,
Logan.
Um, but the fact that we won a trophy for the first professional sports team in Tennessee to bring
Mhm.
home hardware outside of the Predators winning the or the Western Conference.
But that's
But
not
they didn't bring
bringing
home the
home a
Stanley
trophy.
Cup.
Yeah. That's not
there
bringing home a
is
professional
a
trophy.
Western Conference trophy, but
It's
they
not the
got a
same.
banner, but it's not the same. Um, they lost to my Pittsburgh Penguins, so they couldn't get over
Absolutely.
that. But the fact that we did that, the fact that we made it back to the playoffs, and did all of this in BJ's first full year with a roster that he is still building.
Yep.
We just talked about all the roster decisions. This is just beginning. The whole off season that we're going to give BJ again to rebuild. I mean, this was one off season that we had. He only had 9 games prior to that. And then this is what came from that.
I mean,
Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen.
there are two players in particular that came in that he brought in that made ginormous impact for Nashville SC. Number one, Eddie Taxeth. I've never
Yep.
seen a man run harder on the field than that man, as well as be as highly intelligent with the ball and as just
Chippy.
digging into, yeah, Chippy, just digging into the competition with a giant smile on his face. It's great to watch him. And then also Andy Nahar. Andy Nahar
Yep.
scoring from the
Absolutely.
back, high runs, being a fierce, fierce competitor, both at the final third as well as the first third. Our defensive third and attacking third. You cannot make that man, you cannot guard him in one style. He moved the ball. He was quick on his feet. He was just dirty. Like he's just a phenomenal player to have in. Those two guys in particular are guys that BJ brought in himself, and it's only going to get better, in my opinion.
Absolutely, it is. So great season. I think that it was a successful one. I don't think that it's something that we need to take lightly. I think that we need to look at this season and recap it from a positive. Most goals Nashville SC has ever scored. First
Yeah.
trophy. Most wins, the most consecutive home wins, longest streak that we've ever had, and longest just wins in general streak that we've ever had,
Yeah.
all in BJ Callahan's first season. So let's look ahead now. Now that we've seen what he can do and has done, what do we expect? I mean, I know that we've got the new schedule just released,
Yeah.
and so with giving BJ another giving him another off season to really, really nail down what he wants this roster to look like, what chemistry he's going to be building. What are you expecting to see from Nashville this coming season?
I mean, just to
I know it's
pull up
too
the
early because
schedule.
we don't have the full roster yet, but
I mean,
just
just to pull up the
preliminary.
schedule based on what we do have, just still on our books, we still have Hani, we still have Andy, we still have Eddie, we still have Yazbek, we still have Surridge, we have Corcoran, who
He
again
stepped up against
stepped up
Miami.
huge, not just against Miami, but Open
Yeah.
Cup. He stepped up in competition. Do you remember
Yep.
the long ball he had against NYCFC at home? That long ball that got Hani the goal. I'm telling you, this man is going to be a phenomenal player in the midfield. If you just look at the first leg through April of our home schedule or our 2026 schedule in general. Um, I don't know if I see a loss on there.
We got Charlotte
Maybe
twice. We have
Charlotte,
Charlotte twice.
maybe one of the Charlottes.
And Orlando, but that one's at home.
I think maybe Charlotte on the
Columbus
road.
away.
No, I mean, we beat them away earlier this year.
Yeah, no, I think we
Or we
tied.
drew. We drew against
Yeah,
them. But that was also during the middle of our run. We were tired at that point.
the
I'm
unbeaten.
telling
Yeah,
you, I don't think I see a loss on here right now. Um, outside of maybe one of the Charlottes. And then, of course, we're going to Miami and playing at Freedom Park, the brand new uh, stadium that they are building. It'll be open in April of this year, or this next year. So we'll see that unveil. Um, again, there's so much, and some of it just depends on who's making what moves. Atlanta's brought in a new coach, or an old coach, but brought
yeah,
in a new coach for them again. They have made a million different coaching decisions over the last 3 years. Um, I'm interested to see what Atlanta does with the coach change, with Tata coming back. But honestly, I see us getting. I think this year was a standard that was set, and I think the that's just the starting point for us now.
absolutely. I mean, I'm excited to see what's coming. I'm looking forward to seeing what roster decisions are going to happen. Like, who are we going to sign? What are we going to bring in? But honestly, I don't know if I'm going to know any of the names. Like Eddie
Yeah.
Tagseth, I had no idea who he was. I
Who
do now.
who for you? I'm just curious. What do you think are your two big games that you're looking forward to with the new season coming up?
I think later in the season, it's September. I think it is that we have. Is it September that we have Miami at home, or is it the earlier match that we have Miami at home? I
We have
want to
Inter
see
Miami at August 15th.
August 15th. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We play
So
in September on the 12th at Miami at Freedom Park.
yeah, that I'm curious where we're going to be at that point. That's there's the break for Leagues Cup coming back in July and August.
No, it's not a
Um,
break for Leagues Cup. It's a break for the World Cup.
or World Cup. Sorry, I said League Cup.
Yeah.
World Cup. But then coming back, we'll see. I think Yazbek might be on Socceroos. Schaffelberg may be on their World Cup team. I'm trying to think. Andy Nahar may be playing for Honduras. Have they qualified? I don't know if they have.
Honduras, I
No.
don't know if they did. I know that they
I know
needed a
Haiti
win.
did.
I know
Haiti
Haiti did
qualified for, is that's only their second time they've ever qualified, and I
with
think the first
Ruben
time was in the
Spacias.
70s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ruben Spacias, and then Scotland also qualified as well. That's a big one to come in.
Yeah,
Uh,
so we'll see what that looks like, but that's a big one for me just because I want to see us win against Miami again, and I
yeah,
think that at home is going to be our best chance because they're going to be all hyped in the new stadium. I think it's going to be a difficult place to play in because you've got all the Messi fans who are going nuts, all
yeah.
the superstars. It's like going to LA and trying to be LAFC.
I've
It is a
It's like
different
trying to go to
atmosphere.
LA and trying to beat the Galaxy. Well, this year it was a little easier to beat the Galaxy, but
um,
historically has been the Galaxy as the tougher team, and with the superstars. But
yeah,
now,
and so
LAFC, we're gonna get to see Sun come in at home. That's gonna be awesome. I think LAFC is one I'm looking forward to for sure. You gotta I mean, anytime a new stadium opens and it's the first year it opens, we heard this when Geodis opened. Everybody wants to go visit it. So when they do play, that's going to be the stadium that everybody wants to go to. I'm sure that that's going to be a talk with the back line to see if we can get a bus down to Miami over a 2 day period or something.
that's
But
a long bus ride.
I mean, hey, I'm just saying, it'd be a lot of fun. But I think I'm excited about playing in New York at the beginning of September. It's not going to be too hot.
Yeah.
I think that would be a fun one to go to at NYCFC. Um, I think that it's good that we're playing Atlanta in the middle of the heat, that being an 8 p.m. game, if I remember right, on against Nashville at home. So
At least we won't have the cicadas. Um,
Hopefully, at that point they'll all be gone. But no, it's going to be a long season with the break for the World Cup. I'm excited. I think that it's great because we are going to have soccer from February 21st all the way through. I think November 7th is
and then
decision day.
when does the change happen? We haven't even mentioned that the MLS
Yeah,
schedule change.
real
We're
quick.
going to be
Yeah.
taking a summer break.
So in 2027, you will have a condensed season that is going to be from early January through May. There's going to be a summer break, and then you will start the new season after that. So there's going to be like a 14 game season, and then there's going to be the new season that starts after that in August, and that'll be 27 or I guess 26 to 28, something like that, or 27 to 28. So that's going to be the start of the new season. It'll be interesting. I'm curious to see how it
We'll
goes.
see how it goes because we will have the same transfer windows as the rest of the world, essentially.
Yeah, and
Is
then
and with some of the big names like Thomas Mueller, Son, um, uh, Giroud, Messi, all of those guys. There's talks about possibly Neymar coming over and playing at Miami.
we'll
Who
see.
knows? Because the fact that big names are coming here, like now with transfer windows lining up, that may line up some things that could get some other big names. I don't think the MLS is there yet, so I'm not like don't
I
you
mean,
know
hey, it,
misquote me, but I think that opens the door for more big names to come in. So I'm
the
looking
way
forward to it.
the way I look at it is you have a season end in the early parts of December, which pretty much is where we are right now. We're at the very end of November, so you'll see it end in the early parts of December. It's going to last like another month ish longer. But honestly, I think it's going to be interesting to see where it goes. You'll get that larger summer break between seasons. Um, but there's also a giant winter break. There's a winter break from like mid December through early February. So we kind of have a similar break as we do now in the MLS season. Uh, just got to think about it that way.
Ish, it'll be different. I know a lot of the North teams are pretty upset because they all will be playing in the cold weather. Um, like Vancouver playing. You've got
Austin,
Minnesota.
I don't know if our listeners can hear you, but
Uh-oh.
yeah, they can hear you. Never mind. I
Whoa.
couldn't hear you. For
Okay.
some reason, mine's going out. But I will say I'm excited about the new season that's changing. I'm excited about the new season that's coming up. I think it's going to be good for us to have a big international, kind of window for us. I think it's cool for us to see some slots coming up. I think it's cool for us to see what's going on, and the world is at our feet, in my opinion. Not just because the World Cup is coming to our country, but Nashville SC, man, there's nothing but up, in my opinion.
Yes, we're looking forward to what is coming. But let's go ahead and wrap another episode of Mixtape 615. We are so excited that you guys are listening. We are going to try to come on as much as we can. Life stuff keeps happening, that never stops, but we are going to try to be as consistent as possible for all of you guys. Special shout out to Tunji, who's not on here. He's still healing up with his ankle. He's working a lot right now that he's kind of getting back at it. Don't forget, guys, stay connected. Hit us up at Mixtape 615 on Instagram, on Facebook, on X. You can also subscribe to us right here on YouTube if you're watching live. You can subscribe at Mixtape 615 Pod if you're watching it on the back end. But guys, keep it real, keep it vibing. And until next episode, Mixtape 615 is signing off.